sisters. I'm joining live here from my phone now because it simply wouldn't start on my computer. Facebook seems to be really glitchy. I know Victoria had trouble coming on here live in the group last time as well, and I literally tried 3 times. So here I am from my phone, which I haven't done before. Believe me or not, I am not a phone person. So let me just check how this works here. I think this is working. Brilliant. And I can actually see some comments already. That's wonderful. Everyone who's joining me here live, let me know how you're doing today. And everyone who's watching this on the replay, let me have any follow-up questions that you might have to what we're covering here. Let me have them in the comments and I'll follow up with you there and then. So today is all about soulful sales for healers. I'm going to be sharing my 2 strategies with you. And so these are really, one of them is amazing for if you're just starting out, if you still have to build the foundations in your business, and the other one is going to be for those of you who want to scale to 6 figures and beyond. So I'm going to be sharing really exciting stuff with you here. Really the step-by-step strategies, what I've been doing in my business, what has been working, what has not been working, and how you can implement those strategies step by step. Now, hi Maya, welcome. Everyone who's here, let me know in the comments, let me know how you're doing, let me know where you're at in business currently. Are you brand new? Are you starting out? Are you already big in business? Do you want to be big? Where are you currently at? Where do you want to go? I would love to know. And I'm gonna start off by sharing a little bit more about the mistakes that I've made on this path to getting to where I am today, because I see a lot of women who fall into the same traps. It's like very common in the industry. And so I really want to make sure that you can avoid those mistakes. So the first and the biggest mistake that I really made is I started out and I thought that I could do this beautiful thing and start like without any investments. I thought, you know, a business would generate money without me actually investing money into it first. Hi Dasha, welcome. Maya says, just relocated back to Dubai, trying to settle down and eager to get started again in my business. Beautiful. It's a great way to be, great place to be. Hi Kayuri, welcome. So I really thought that effort alone was enough, you know, to make money, but it's simply not true, you know, like even if you have 10 years to invest and you love trial and error, I think you could get there, you know, like eventually without help, for sure. But, you know, you will lose tons of time, and of course you will also lose money if you try to do this without getting properly coached at first, because if you had gotten help sooner, you know, you'd already making that money back that you invested. And of course it will also cost you tons of nerves, and you'll be crying lots of tears, just like I have if you don't get help. So this is really my biggest mistake that I made. Let me start out with that. If I could do anything differently, then I would get help sooner. Now, there's a lot of mistakes that resulted from the first one big mistake, because I just didn't really know what I was doing. So I started off with offering group programs and group memberships at a low ticket price, and that resulted in a lot of struggle to make any money, or at least a little bit of money, what we needed, because I didn't have a big enough audience to actually make that strategy work. And it also didn't really help my reputation. I couldn't really show off all of my power, because when people don't commit, you know, to work with you over a certain amount of time, or when they don't invest enough money, they simply can't receive the big type of help that you could actually be giving them, and that's just a shame. So yeah, and I was also super stressed. I was overwhelmed, you know, always in front of the computer, working like night and day for very little, and having super low confidence despite all of my gifts and my great training, because I wasn't really able to share the best of me with my customers because of the offerings that I was offering. Dasha says, I was there, small group memberships, had to end it after 2 years, lots of work and no money. There you go, I was in the same place. Hi Suzanne, welcome. So everyone else, share with me if you've made a similar mistake, just like Dasha and I have, before I go on with sharing more of mine. like I really eventually realized that I needed help. So I plucked up my courage and I asked for a loan from my grandpa. I was not on good terms with my family at that time, and I felt very rejected by them. I was in a very vulnerable place in my life as a single mom to a small baby, and it was really, really not easy for me to ask. But he said yes, and I used that money to get my first business coaching, but it turned out it was rather imperfect advice that I was getting, because I was learning from someone who was quite successfully financially, but she was totally burned out, and I didn't know, right? She was hiding it pretty well. So I started to do what she did, and she was offering single one-on-one healing sessions. And I did earn a bit more that way. And I got some of my confidence back because I was actually seeing the results that my clients were getting. But I was still not earning enough money to really support myself and my son yet. So I was still like renting one room in a house together with other people, and I worked in exchange for food. So we were really living off nothing. Tell me in the comments if you've fallen into the single session trap, because you know it really burned me out big time. And then I borrowed more money and I invested it into a training with some of the most famous coaches in the industry. And although I was really disgusted by their masculine, inauthentic, almost inhuman ways of selling, I did learn one very, very important lesson that was really worth gold. It's that I needed a signature offering, a real offering, a core offering. So tell me in the comments if you currently have this. If you have a one-on-one offering for a specific type of person in a specific situation that leads to a specific outcome over a specific period of time that you sell at a high ticket price, because that's the definition of that. Dasha, you also did the single sessions, women's circles for donations. Yeah, well, there you go. I did the same thing. I worked on donations a lot when I lived in the eco-village in Findhorn, and I could really see that people weren't getting the best results from what I was doing with them, and you know, I was sad for everyone. So in the end, after receiving this advice, I created the transformation, which is still the first part of Shamanic Stars today, of my main offer today. At that time, it was only the transformation, that first part of my training where I teach shamanic journeying. And, you know, I first did that in person in Findhorn, and then I did it in person in Austria. And it went so well for the people, and they got real results. And then I was like, okay, I have to take this online. And then I did. And by that time, you know, my following had grown to like a few hundred at least, and it sold quite well. So I earned more from what I was offering. And I started to accept one-on-one business coaching clients as well to teach them what I had learned. And that was like my second core offering at the time. And I was really teaching them what I'm gonna teach you today, strategy 1, which made it possible for me to earn an income that we could actually live from for the first time. So the money was okay then. I had 2 signature offerings by the end of 2019, but I was really, really burned out. I was really reaching my limit. And, you know, then, you know, by that time I had managed to put some money aside, like 5K. And instead of buying a car, like I had really wanted to and saved for a long time, I put it all into a new business coaching program, every cent. And that really put me on my path to my first 6 figures, which I created in just 6 months. By the end of 2020, I had enough money on the side to move to a 4-bedroom junk villa with infinity pool in Bali and put my son into a private school, hire a driver, a nanny, and a housekeeper. And it was amazing. But unfortunately, that was not the happy ending of my Soulful sales story, because I was selling in a very mainstream way at that time with artificial scarcity, made up deadlines, a lot of pressure to buy, and I just didn't like it at all. It didn't feel like me, and it really wasn't compatible with being a highly sensitive person, with being a healer, with being a compassionate human who wants to, first and foremost of all, help people. And also, you know, the strategy that I was using at the time was live launches. So I was literally dealing with hundreds of women in a very intense container. And I did that every 2 months, and every one of these launches was like intensely occupying me for at least 2 weeks, and it was really not very compatible with being a single mom and being a highly sensitive person. Put a lot of pressure on me, and it really wasn't great. And as a consequence, I was really developing problems with my throat chakra. Like I couldn't get through a session without like my throat completely closing up, and my old back problems returned, and yeah, I was just completely burned out. I spent the first 6 months in Bali mostly in bed or at the spa, doing pretty much nothing, even like neglecting my own spiritual practice. And I let my 4 assistants that I had at the time run my business. And I only showed up for the most important things as the face of the company. And so, you know, for many people in the world, this would be the absolute dream scenario, right? Working next to nothing and earning 6 figures, but I really hated it, you know, because me without my purpose, it just didn't feel like me. You know, helping people, making a difference in the world, seeing my clients shine, that's really what I live for, you know. And, you know, I was still helping people, but I knew that my assistants couldn't possibly replace me, right? And I also didn't get to witness all of the joy, the excitement, the progress, the magic. And so I was really missing that. It's just one of my favorite things in life. So let me know in the comments if it's also, you know, if your purpose is also just that important for you. Hi Jackie, welcome. So what happened back then is I decided to throw that super successful 6-figure strategy overboard, and you know, I said bye-bye to live launching, and I decided I was gonna go for more business coaching and to learn a new strategy yet again. And yeah, so what I did is I invested in 2 more programs, one after the other, from very high-profile healers who are also business coaches. I invested 35,000 euros, only to find out that they also partially do the live launch model, which I really didn't want to do anymore. And they were not really healers, you know, they just put this pink bow on the same old masculine strategies, and they put on this, you know, mystic voice for their meditations, but you know, it was totally lacking depth and real transformation, and I just really didn't like it. And they also just didn't really care, you know. I didn't feel seen or heard or well taken care of. So let me know in the comments if you've also fallen for some of these false mystics who don't walk their talk, you know, and who just want to sell and totally don't care about their clients anymore once the sale is made. So these experiences really just taught me one big thing: who I don't want to become, you know. No matter how many millions I make, I do not want to become this person. And so last year I finally decided to forget whatever, you know, other people are doing and develop my own strategy, like a real soulful sales strategy for the level that I was at. Because right, I had already developed that first organic strategy that I'm going to be teaching you today, and I could have just kept on doing that, but I was like past this point where I wanted to do that, where I wanted to do organic only, because I knew I had the social proof, I had the following to go bigger, to help more people. So that's why I'm also going to share with you this beautiful strategy number 2 that I developed, which is now really implemented. So this is where I really get to connect to the right people from the start and serve them in really meaningful ways before they even commit to working with me. And I sign up many of them as soulmate clients with ease, you know, at the same time as having tons of time for my family and being relaxed, able to serve from my overflow, all while scaling to multiple 6 figures this year, which is really, really cool. So I made this dream come true for myself. This was really a big project for me. I'm a very impatient person. I'm not used to spending that much time developing something. It's been 1.5 years of me creating this strategy and implementing it and testing what works and what doesn't. And the past 6 months, it has worked beautifully, and now I'm ready to teach it, which is really exciting. So yeah, I'm gonna also be talking about strategy number 2 today, but first let's dive into strategy number 1. Hi Martina, welcome. Which I call the heart-to-heart organic sales strategy. Okay, so this strategy works for those who are new in business and you want to earn like 5K per month. It also works for those who want to scale to 6 figures. It is how I scaled to 6 figures, but I think strategy 2 is even more powerful for that. So more about that later. So the idea for strategy number 1 is to sell your signature offering to work with people one-on-one on a specific outcome they want to achieve. And if you price your offer very moderately, say for 2.5K, you can earn those 5K from just 2 new clients per month, which is really, really not easy. Which is really easy because, it's not very much high ticket. I would say high ticket starts at 2K, but 2.5 is still like very moderate for giving someone your undivided time and attention and energy and expertise and love, and giving them a result that they really want. And of course, over time, with more confidence and experience and social proof, you can raise your prices, raise the prices of your offer to like 5K at least, up to 10K, and then you can make 10 to 20K from just 2 sales per month. So it's pretty cool. But if you want to scale and not work full time, then I do recommend strategy 2 for those of you who are already making a decent income. If you're already at 5K, then I recommend that you implement strategy 2. But more about that later. First, let's go into the foundation that you need so you can implement strategy number 1, and then I will walk you through it step by step. So here's what you need in place for strategy number 1 to work, and that is really the foundation of a successful soulful healing business. So first, you need crystal clarity on who you work with, who your ideal clients are, and where they are currently at. This is very important. You can't possibly help everyone in the best possible way in the world. It's not possible. You need to speak to a specific type of person. You also need crystal clarity on what result that you help your clients to achieve. You need to be very clear on the outcome, on what they're actually getting from working with you. You also need really great training as a healer that enables you to facilitate this work confidently through a reliable modality and a proven method. You need a social media platform where you can show off your expertise and start gathering a tribe. My favorite for that is Facebook because it has beautiful groups like this one that we are in right now. And then you need a call booking software like Calendly, and you need Zoom to hold calls. And then you also need an offering that leads them all the way, from where they're currently at to that result that they really want. And this offering needs to be set up on your website, or can be done with a simple sales page, but it has to have some testimonials. And these testimonials at the beginning you can gather from doing free sessions. If you haven't had any clients already, you can do some free sessions where you get some testimonials. And in these free sessions, you should take someone from A to B, and then in the real offering, you take them from B to Z. Okay? So let me know if you have any questions about these foundations. And then let's jump right into how it works to implement strategy number 1. Hi Nuria, welcome. So step number 1, you go to your favorite social media platform, and you show up as the gifted healer that you are, and you share about your area of expertise, the topic that you specialize in, with the group of people that you've decided to serve. Now really make sure that you are showing off in the right place, where your ideal clients actually hang out, and that you're really talking to the right people, because this strategy will not work if you're not clear on who you serve or how to talk to them. So this can be your own group on Facebook. This can be your profile. In the beginning, you can show off in some other groups that allow that. So there's a lot that you can do. And of course, you can also use other social media platforms like TikTok or Instagram or whatever. And, that's really what I am doing with you right here, right now, right? This is step 1. So my soulful client and my soulmate clients are aspiring shamanic healers and aspiring successful business women, and my topics of expertise are shamanic yoga for self-care and shamanism for deep personal healing and as training, and shamanic business for financial success and the fulfillment of your purpose. So really I'm sharing this stuff with you here. You're my tribe. So this is basically what step 1 can look like. You don't have to do a video, of course, but it is very powerful. Now step 2, as you finish, when you're sharing, you don't have to always do that, of course, but when you're doing something big, you finish with a call to action and you invite your audience onto a call with you to talk more about working with you one-on-one. At the start, it really needs to be one-on-one when you're doing strategy number 1. And that's what I'm doing here too. Some of you might end up working with me one-on-one. Some of you might end up coming into Shamanic Stars, into my group Shamanic Apprenticeship. But like I said, when you're starting out with strategy number 1, you should really be selling a one-on-one offering. So you invite them onto a chat where you can connect with them heart to heart, soul to soul, and see if working together would be a win-win. And then you give people a link to go to a call booking page and they land in your calendar. Step 3 is then to hold this call. And here the important thing is really, I don't really believe much in scripts and stuff like that. It's really, you have to, if you're talking to the right people, then they want the solution that you have, right? If you're offering the right thing. So you, on the call, really your job is just to listen to their needs and to explain about your offer. And then you see if the offer and the needs fit together. And if they do, you just you leave the choice up to them. And step 4 is really working with those people, you know, serving them, supporting them, inspiring them, encouraging them, helping them let go of illness, addiction, relationship, drama, financial troubles, whatever your specialty is. And along the way, or at least at the end, you'll get a really great testimonial that you can then showcase on social media. I've got like 7 different folders of testimonials for all of my programs. And like hundreds of them are just lying there on my desktop that I copy from social media all the time, and I never use them. So don't tip from me as your coach. Don't be like me. I'm not very good with showing off, but it is really good when you can be proud of the results that you help people achieve and show others that you can help them too, right? Because that's our goal. What kind of healer are we if we don't let people know that we can help them with their problem, right? They need a solution, we provide the solution. So it's beautiful win-win. So kind of rinse and repeat, right? It's 4 steps, it's very easy. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions about strategy 1 before we dive into strategy 2. And I can, of course, help you with creating this foundation as well as implementing strategy number 1, either in Shamanic Stars, which is my 7 months apprenticeship that includes holistic business coaching as well as training in core shamanism. Shamanic Stars includes everything that strategy 1 entails. And I can also help you with this in my private business coaching program, which is called Business and Bliss. I teach strategy 1 in the butterfly version of Business and Bliss, which is really for those who are starting out. This one is 4 months long, and I am raising my prices in 2023. I have a very special birthday coming up, so now is the last chance to get this 2023 pricing. Good. Let me check the comments before I dive into strategy 2. I think testimonials are really powerful. Like, before I make a decision, this is the most important thing for me, to really read into what other people have experienced. And I can really tell from the language that people use, and I can feel the energy of the testimonial, you know, if it's like a sincere thing, and, you know, I can just feel how deep people went. So for me, I think testimonials are really powerful, and I would recommend to everyone to use them. Let me know if you have any other questions about strategy number 1. Now, strategy number 2. So I call this one energetic sales powered by ads. Oh wait, Tasha has a question. Do you first offer a free trial healing or just free consultation to sell the program? And no, I don't do trial healings. I don't recommend you do free healings. You can do them when you're very much starting out. You've never had a client. You can do some free healings to get testimonials from people. Yes, absolutely. But as a general strategy, no, absolutely not. Okay, so that's why you have testimonials. So people who have undergone this, they can say that this has helped them, right? And people should be able to see your energy, feel into your energy, so that they can make a decision whether you are the right person for them. And then you talk to them, of course, but you don't do a free healing. I wouldn't do that, you know, that wouldn't feel very respectful of my own time and energy, right? And also I think that to really start to create amazing results together, there needs to be commitment from both sides. So if I'm doing it for free, I'm not really committed to that person, and I have an agenda. I don't want any of this energy in my healings. I don't want to have an agenda. When I just have a conversation with someone, I don't even know if my product is right for them or not. So I'm not going into this call with, I need to sell to this person. I'm going into this conversation like, okay, let's see if this would be amazing for us to work together. So if I would already be working with them, it would have feel, if I would already doing healings with them, it wouldn't feel like that. It would feel like, oh, I did this for free. Now I'm expecting them to become my clients. So I wouldn't like that. Okay, so strategy number 2, right? This strategy will not work well for newbies. It's best suited to those who want to serve more people at the same time as scaling their income. Yeah, and with this strategy in place, you can really earn 6+ figures in just 25 hours a week. And here it's really up to you if you want to have your signature offering still as a one-on-one, or if you want to expand into a group version to leverage your time. I still have both, right? I have Business and Bliss, which is one-on-one. And because I feel that working on a business, the best possible thing is that someone gets my undivided time and attention, and I can actually focus on them, helping them implement all of that. And then I have Shamanic Stars, the apprenticeship, which is, I think, better suited to a group environment, because we learn so much from each other and we benefit so much from having other people connecting to other women who are on the same kind of path of becoming a powerful healer. So what it is for you will depend on what you do with people, what is best suited, and also on your preference, of course. Some people love working one-on-one, some don't like it, some prefer groups, some prefer one-on-one, so it's up to you. So first I'll tell you again what you need in place for this strategy to work, and then I'll walk you through it step by step. So what you need for strategy number 2 to work beautifully is the complete foundation from that we talked about for strategy number 1. And in addition to that, you really do need a Facebook group now where you're going to hold your mini offer. So this offer leads into your main offer. It's like my shaman initiation. Many of you have been through that. If you have not participated in it yet, let me know. I'm going to send you the link because it is really, really good. And it really leads people from A to B. The number, when I lead them to Z in Shamanic Stars, it's like, okay, they are a fully trained shamanic healer. They have the most powerful modality at their fingertips, and they have implemented everything that they need to do to build the foundation of a successful healing business. And in the shaman initiation, I guide them from A to B, which is making sure that shamanism is actually for them. Finding out if they actually have a shamanic calling, because that's really important to know, right? If you're not sure about that, then you can't really move forwards. So your mini offer should be something like that really helps them walk that first path. Hi Carla, welcome. So you need that, and then you also need plenty of social proof in the form of detailed testimonials in writing or in video format that go on your sales page, which should at this point be more elaborate. And then you have to have ad copies that are really spot on, that speak to your audience, and you have to have ad creatives with good pictures. So you need some professional photographs that show you in your role as a healer. You also need a Facebook ads expert to set up your ads. I do not recommend that you run your own ads unless you are yourself a Facebook ads expert, because Facebook ads are fucking complicated. So you do not want to invest your money if you're not sure what you're doing. Okay, I've tried this many times to do this myself, and it's not been great. So my Facebook ads guy is worth gold. And then of course you need money to invest in ads before you can see a return on that investment. So you should have some money on the side. And of course you need a great coach. Strategy number 1, you can try to implement it by yourself. Of course, it's much better to have help, especially at the start. But strategy 2, when you want to scale, you're already making good money, you have some money to invest back into your business. So I advise for you to do that before you, end up going through a lot of trial and error before this actually works for you. It's really important that you have someone to make sure that all the pieces of the puzzle here, they come beautifully and neatly together so that you don't waste your time and money. So here is how strategy number 2 works. First, you have to film the mini offer videos. I advise that you create a 3-day course with 3 videos, and then you add some calls to action to come on a call with you. Step number 2 is you create and run the ads to advertise your mini offer. Step number 3, the ads will center people into your Facebook group where you will welcome them and engage with them as they go through that 3-day experience, and you're gonna encourage them to come on a chat with you. If you feel that they would be your ideal client, if you feel that what you have to offer would be great for them. I already asked these questions a lot from the start. I designed the whole 3-day course to make sure that I only end up talking to the right people, and it is very rare that I'm on a call with someone and I'm like, I'm not sure what I have to offer is right for you. I do say that to people if I do feel it's true. I do not recommend to join my program if I don't feel it's right for people. That would destroy the whole group atmosphere and it would destroy my reputation. So I honestly say to people who are not ready, I'm sorry, like I think it's better you start with some of my do-it-yourself courses, or I might recommend even someone else's work. But most of the time, because I'm guiding them through this beautiful offering, I'm talking to people who it is right for. And then of course I leave the choice up to them. And then of course that's what happens on the chat. You have the chat, and ideally you sign them up as clients. And step 5 is you do this beautiful work together with them and everyone is happy. Rinse and repeat. Now let me know in the comments if you have questions about strategy and number 2. And I've really developed this strategy by taking the best things that I've learned from all the different coaches that I learned with, that I studied with, the elements that actually work for healers. And I discarded the rest, and of course I added a lot of my own magic as well. And the results are really amazing. Like, my life is absolutely wonderful again. In my work, I get to serve people deeply, and I get to see it all and witness it all too, which really lights me up. I'm at multiple 6 figures now, which is like another milestone. That's really amazing. I'm going to break through that this year. And I get to spend tons of my time with my partner and my son Lou. Just to give you an idea, like I wake up in the mornings, I spend the first hour of my day just like going for a walk with my dog, drinking tea, talking to my son, reading a book with him. Then he gets ready for school, my partner takes over at that point, and I start with my own practice. I do yoga, I meditate, I really take care of myself. Then I start work, then I work for like 3 hours, then I usually eat something, then I have a little nap, then I spend a whole hour with my partner, and then, you know, my son comes back from school, then we do something fun, we go snorkeling, we go to the beach, we meet friends, we go for a little trip somewhere. It's like, this is what my day looks like, you know. Then I come back home in the evening, we have dinner together, or we've had dinner out, and in the evening again, my partner brings my son to bed, so I have tons of time to again do my own practice, or to just read, or go for a nighttime stroll. It's like, my life is really good, and this strategy enables me to actually do that. Okay, questions. Interesting strategy, and I understand that I have to put a basic plan in place. Yeah, absolutely. You really need a plan, right? The energy accounts for a lot. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a moment, but you do need to have a plan to implement. That is actually proven and that works. Dasha, you say you need lots of time and money to actually build and have ready that big high paid ticket like Shamanic Stars. It's what I just actually went over with you. It's really actually everything that you need. So Shamanic Stars, I could be selling that with strategy number 1, and I could be selling it with strategy number 2. Both would work, but it is much more powerful to do it with strategy number 2 because it is a high ticket group program. So it's great to have ads involved there to get new people in who this is right for, and I don't have to look for them organically first, right? And you're saying here, can I ask? But I can't really see the rest of the comment. Here. How long it can take to actually build something that big? Yeah, that really depends on where you're currently at, right? If you're starting from the start, I can help you create that whole strategy, the whole strategy number 1, implement all the foundations in 4 months. And then you'll have a business that generates around 5K per month, which is amazing. If you want to get all the level to 6 and multiple 6 figures, I would say it will take around a year. And this is, of course, both timelines are with expert guidance. If you try to do this by yourself, you will end up doing it like me, and it will take like at least 5 years, if not 10. Most people actually never make that. If you look at the statistics, it is quite crazy. Like, only 2% of all businesses survive. So you can imagine how, what that relates to in numbers when it comes to healing businesses, right? So it is really good to get help from someone who knows what they're doing. Good. yeah, obviously I can help you with creating all of that, everything you need for strategy number 2 to work beautifully. This is what we do in Business and Bliss in the Phoenix version, which is 6 months long. So I'm not going to be only there while you create and implement the strategy, but I'm also going to be there while you make your first sales, so you can really fine-tune this whole thing, ask me all the questions that will come up, optimize, perfect it all, master the whole process, so you feel super confident and you have clients pouring in. Now, of course, we haven't talked about the energetics that flow into these strategies in this session. I talk a lot about the energy, obviously, in many of our sessions here. So I just want you to be aware that for all of this to align, for you to prosper, you might need to up-level your self-care, your self-love, your soul level healing from childhood, from past lifetimes, as well as your money mindset. Okay, so really, there is a lot that goes into that. The strategy alone really isn't enough. The outcome of an action is determined by the energy that we put into that action, much more than by the action itself. Okay, so you have to be aligned with soulful success as a healer for these actions to bear the right fruits, the fruits that, you know, are ripe and juicy and abundant, and actually the ones that you want. So if you want to grow like succulent peaches, you know, but your energy is aligned with dry limes. I've been struggling a lot with dry limes here in Bali. It's very frustrating. You put it over your cup of tea and it's just like, you know, the seeds that fall into your cup. It's because it's been very dry here in Bali. We haven't had a lot of rain. So, you know, if your energy is aligned with dry limes, then that's what you're gonna create. You know, even if you plant peach seeds, it is not gonna become a peach tree. That's just the way energy works, right? Energy always wins over matter. And of course, this is what I'm helping my clients with as well. All of my business coaching is truly holistic, is absolutely shamanic. So I look at all the levels of your being. I make sure that you have what you need for this to work. We look at your body, your mind, your heart, your soul, and you will get custom tailored healings. So the two options that you have of getting help with making tons of soulful sales with me is either Shamanic Stars VIP. I don't recommend that you grab a scholarship space for this because you wouldn't have any one-on-one support with me, and I also don't have any scholarships available at the moment. They've all been grabbed for this month already. So the VIP version is actually the normal pricing, but I'm throwing in as a really amazing bonus a monthly one-on-one session with me, and that's perfect for implementing the business strategy. So if you want to train as a shamanic healer and get amazing business coaching, then this is right for you. And if you don't want more training as a shaman, then I recommend you go straight for Business and Bliss. So here we have the butterfly version, which is where we implement strategy number 1 together. That's when you're new in business, when you need to build all the foundations and you really want to earn 5K per month from your healing business. And it will take us 4 months together to create all of that. And then there is the Phoenix. That's where I help you with creating strategy number 2. It's going to take us 6 months, and I'm going to help you to scale to 6 figures and beyond. And I'm only offering Business and Bliss twice a year. I have a very limited intake of one-on-one clients. And this is one of those times. The last one was like back in April. Yeah, so if you're listening to this now and you want to grab this chance, then it is a really good time for that. And it's really powerful to skip all the trial and error that you would otherwise definitely go through if you don't have the right expertise. And this is your chance to do it with ease and grace and to start earning really well really soon and make your clients really happy at the same time as feeling really fulfilled. And right now you can still grab the old 2022 prices for both programs. So this is the last time I'm gonna offer it for that price. So if you wanna book that call with me, you go to www.shamanicyoga.love/claritycall. And you can also send me a PM. I'll send you a clickable link. I'm going to add it later to this session as well. It's going to show up in the description once I added this session on my computer, because I have no idea how to do that on my phone. See, I don't work from my phone. I have very good boundaries. So yeah, so I want you to understand I hold these calls with prospective new clients to make sure it's right as rain for them. So you will not see me pressure you in any way at all. I don't do pressure. I'm simply here to offer you guidance and answer your questions and help you get clarity on if this is really aligned for you or not, and if it is, to offer you my heartfelt service, and whether you accept it or not is entirely up to you. So go to shamanicyoga.love/claritycall, and this link is specifically for joining Shamanic Stars. But even if you want to join Business and Bliss or just find out more about it, you can still use that same link for simplicity here, and you can just adjust your answers in the questionnaire to suit that program. If you're watching this on the replay and you have any questions at all about what we covered here today, just pop anything into the comments and I'll get back to you there and then. Kayuri says, thank you for the great advice. You are so welcome. So welcome. Lots of love to all of you, and talk to you again soon. Bye bye for now.